Alright, so let's move this to ×2 speed, because I'm gonna have to go through a lot of these.
This channel rack is where all of the samples and instruments in our project exist. When you open up FL Studio, it loads with these 4 samples, kick through to a snare. You can add whatever you want straight onto the channel rack. So this is where all the samples that we're using will exist. If we want to add a virtual instrument, we can also just click this button down here and add a VST like a synth.
Ah, so that's where the instruments are. I thought they were all on the right. Okay, okay. How does he move those? Because I couldn't get mine to move. And he can duplicate them.
This is a select tool. You can select
Hold up.
Go back to this tool and hold shift and click and drag and you will do
okay, shift and drag does it.
So that way you can create this kind of melody. So I'll be showing you guys how to add and download a sound pack or a sound kit. Sound kit is basically a compilation of sounds that you will find online, be it on free websites, be it My Drum Kit, websites like Splice, Luca, whatever.
Stop. Splice. Splice, huh? Apparently I've been here before. I don't remember this site though. I must have been a college project. Huh. Okay, so while traditional instruments are from the menu, packs are on the right or left. I have fruity. What the fuck is fruity? Grass beat. Add it. Okay, this is a grass beat. What does a grass beat sound like? It doesn't sound like anything. Okay. What is this? This is just somebody else's song. Why is somebody else's song on here? Drum bat. That sounds like a drum, right? Ah, my ears. Okay. I thought I knew what a drum bat was. Back to the tutorials.
Hi there, it's Thomas George, and welcome to this FL Studio 20 beginner tutorial. So in this video, we're going to show you on screen step by step the essentials of FL Studio so you can make your own music. This video was actually taken from my complete FL Studio course. If you'd like full access to this course, then be sure to check out the link below this video. Hello and welcome to this lecture where we're going to be looking at a brief overview of the interface in FL Studio. So we're going to quickly have a look at the channel rack, playlist, mixer, camera,
this guy's set up in a way that looks a lot more convenient. Hold up, let's see if we can make it look like that. So we'll start by shrinking this part, right? Okay, this part looks like it covers each individual track. So if I move this up here, I don't think that'll be a huge loss since there should only be like 10 or so of these tracks, right? So that means we can just move the piano from the bottom, make it extra large. Not bad. Maybe I want more piano space. Actually, what I could do is just straighten out this long part like this. Then if I just click on this guy, it doesn't matter if this one is long because I can just click on the other one that I need at the moment. There we go. There's a plan. Fantastic.
Okay, now let's select kick and snare. And I'm just going to draw some of these in.
Okay, I need to figure out how to zoom in and zoom out of that thing. So FL Studio.
What up, y'all? This is FL Studio. How to zoom.
Ah.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna hit Control and move your mouse or move your scroller thing.
Got it. It's Control. Pack updates are available for download. Click here to download them all. To download them all. Sure. Because apparently this is where all my sounds come from. Am I right? Wait, how do you sample a sound?
Listening to this pattern. Now I'm just going to select a different preset and then press the spacebar.
Apparently I have to select a space bar, but I actually have to have it in order to test that. Download everything. It does beg the question though, where is it downloading to? Well, I mean, I could buy more of these packs, but I don't think I need them. Depends on what these sound like, I guess. But this explains where all my instruments disappeared to. Yeah, because part of the point of all this is I'm trying to do this on the cheap, right? Because I don't want to buy music. So.
This pattern. Now I'm just going to select a different preset and then press the spacebar. It's not quite what I'm after, so I'm going to have a look at a few others. That's more appropriate. A new part. I'm going to choose a new preset for my synthesizer. I'll do so by clicking where it says flex here. So in the
So the problem I run into is that I can't actually put flex itself onto here. I try, and I end up with this. But it keeps putting me onto kick whenever I hit spacebar instead of something else.
Right, I'm just going to quickly draw in the bass part here. I'm going to draw in this note here, C#3. I'm just going to move it so it starts at the beginning of the bar. And now I'm going to stretch it out. I'm just going to draw in another note now. You'll notice there that the length of the note I've drawn in has changed. I changed the length of this note here, and now draw in a new note. It's the same length again. Now, if I click on this longer note, and then draw in a note, the note that you draw in will be the same length as the previous note that you have selected. So this is
That's
really handy
useful
when you're drawing in notes.
Now we can click on the magnet tool again and disable half step and start creating some melodies on top.
I see. So, got it. The idea is that you start with some really big flat stuff, and then you add up from there. It's a lot like art. You make some basic shapes, then you work your way up. With this, you start with some basic sounds, and you work your way up. I got it, okay. There's no skip here either. It's important to acknowledge that this was made in real time. So basically, I am watching a man make 3 melodies in 14 minutes. That's actually kind of incredible, seeing how quickly all this can be done. And I guess the hard part is putting it all together and figuring out the kinks as you try to get everything to measure up evenly, while not having one particular sound outmatching the other. But I guess that's the whole point of having pacings and beats, huh? If everything is put on one consistent scale or measurement, it doesn't matter how much you add, it'll always line up properly. That's interesting.
Can you hear the fault in this melody?
No, I can't. This is bussin'.
If you couldn't hear the fault, don't worry, that's what you're about to learn. And more importantly, you'll learn our rule for fixing this fault in the melodies you've already written and avoiding it in melodies you'll write in the future. Firstly, just to clarify, a fault is not a mistake. Music is an art, so if you're making music from your heart, then there cannot be any mistakes. But
oh, hey, it's the
when
same keyboard I have.
Producers don't understand theory, which is the grammar of music, they're not able to fully express themselves.
He's
Just
right.
if
Art's the
someone
same
was
way.
trying to write a poem in a language they didn't speak, the resulting work of art will undoubtedly have weaknesses, and a fault is defined as a weakness.
So, what's the fault in this melody? Well, it sounds completely... Unfortunately for rhythm, it's usually the overlooked element in a melody. Indeed, songwriters and producers often seem to forget that melody actually contains 2 elements, pitch and rhythm.
Melody is
To hear this
pitch
in
plus
action,
rhythm.
Just listen to the new music
Good to
Friday
know.
playlist on Spotify every week. It's clear that the rhythms of most melodies are an afterthought, at best. You're probably wondering what exactly makes a good rhythm. Well, first, it's important to remember that a rhythm is a
And
pattern
rhythm
of time. And
is
just like
the
with all
pattern
patterns, our
of
human brains
time.
get bored if there's too much repetition, and they get overwhelmed if there's too much variety. Therefore, good rhythms, like all good patterns, enjoy a pleasing yet interesting balance of repetition and variety.
And most melodies these days do not.
This kind of reminds me of the video we saw last time. If you remember, he had these very long bars which were used as the bass for his music. And even though they had different pitches, they're spaced out evenly. So even if he raised, lowered, or added more to it, that basic foundation remained constant.
It's the lack of variety that causes their weakness. Variety in a melody is created by using many different note values, and most importantly, syncopation.
Syncopation.
And it puts a real spring in your melody step, bringing it to
I don't know
For
what that
example,
is.
in the first 3 beats of our rhythm, we move 2 on-beat notes to off-beats. The difference that this small tweak makes to our melody is truly unbelievable. You can hear it's already being revived, and we're only in the first bar.
Okay.
By the way, our example is in the key of A minor, which is all the white notes from A to A, and the tempo is 95 BPM.
Now, you're probably wondering how to tell if your melody's rhythm is boring. Easy, you give it the one note test. You see, removing the pitch element of your melody will expose its rhythm. In other words, if your melody is captivating when played on one pitch, then it has a good rhythm. If it sounds boring on one pitch, then you need to work on its rhythm. Here's the one note test for our example.
One
So to
note
conclude,
test.
Our melody rhythm
Got
goal
it.
is that your melody should still sound good when played on only one
I'll
pitch.
keep that in
And the best way
mind.
to do that is to ensure that your melody's rhythm balances repetition and variety, and includes some syncopation. Thanks for being here in the Hack Music Theory community. We really appreciate you. Enjoy the final example, and we'll see you next time.
I thought I was gonna get to make some snarky comment about how they sound almost exactly the same because they look similar, but no, that's clearly different than the original. Interesting. Okay, so here's a summary of what I learned. Basically, we have the channel rack, the playlist arrangement, and the piano roll. The channel rack holds all of our instruments and provides us with different ways to play them. Once completed, those channels are saved as a pattern, which it can be placed in the playlist menu. And from the playlist menu, we can put them on the playlist track. If we need to go into different notes or pitches for a specific instrument, the piano roll can be used as a digital keyboard. It is very easy to just choose an instrument and throw it on there. Note that only one instrument can be used on the piano roll at a time. As for actually making the music, melody is pitch plus rhythm. I should start the melody with the most dominant instrument or with a drum bass. Make sure it's a good pattern with the one note test, and then work my way up from there. I think that covers it. Surprisingly, there's not a whole lot to making music on FL Studio. I figured this is going to require like a whole list of music theory, but I got the feeling that I can make this in a day.